Guys, so I'm here today with this video. I figured that I could give a few tips on how to properly kind of hold your makeup brushes. I know that it seems kind of like not something that's not a big deal, or that I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it, just like, you know, in passing sometimes in videos, but I figured that I could just focus on that in this video. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I got this look and what tips I have on how to properly kind of hold your makeup brushes, sponges, etc., just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so as far as blending brushes go, if you want a light wash of something, if you don't want something to be too harsh, if you don't want to do too much blending, you need to hold your brush towards the end. Don't hold it like this because you are applying too much pressure to the brush. And then you're going to hold towards the back, and that'll give you the lightest application, and it'll give you more control of giving yourself like a fluid motion, like when you're blending. Like here it's harder because you're applying more pressure, so it doesn't move as easily. See how it just gives you that light wash and like you're all done. Let me zoom you guys in. I always forget to zoom you guys in. Okay, so there you can see, and you don't have to continuously keep putting product on your brush. You just blend whatever you have already, back and forth and in just little circular motions, and it should be that easy. If you feel like when you're blending like it doesn't blend, or you put it down and there's just too much product so it doesn't blend out as well, just like I said, just put a little bit and just build up as you go. Now I'm going to be going in with a darker shade, and I'm going to be using a more like condensed blending brush, and I want it to be darker and more intense, but I still don't want it to be like, I don't want to pack it on with a flat shader brush. So if you want a little bit more pigment and you want it to be darker, just hold it a little bit more towards the middle, but not up here. Like, you just want to hold it, keep it towards the back all the time. If it's any kind of blending brush, if you're going to do any kind of like blending and, you know, want it to look, you know, nice and seamless, I'm going to be kind of doing some pressing motions first to get the color where I want it. I'm going to be pressing it down and then swiping it to the side. And you don't have to press down, you don't have to like use the whole brush. You literally can just use the tip of the brush. So then when you don't have that much product, you just can blend everything together. So again, see how you kind of blended? That's why you kind of go back, add a little more if you want a little darker. Do the same technique, and the layering of the eyeshadows is what's going to give you that really nice blended look. And then now for a more flat shader brush, I'm going to go in with more of a shimmer shade. I'm going to try it just dry first. And with these, you do want to hold it a little bit closer so you have more control and you don't get the shimmer like all over. So you want to make sure you have more control with these brushes. If you're trying to get it in a more precise area, you're not really going to be doing a lot of blending. You do want to hold it a little bit more towards the middle. I'm going to go ahead and use my finger to add a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, now for eyeliner, this L'Oreal Infallible Lacquer Liner 24 Hours in Blackest Black. And it's a little gel liner like this. And I'm just going to put the smallest amount, and you want to stay as close to the lash line as possible. And like I said, for this you do want a lot of pressure because you want to have more control of the brush, so you do want to hold it closer to the middle in the front. And then what I like to do is pinch my brush down so that it gets a little skinnier. It takes like the excess because it can kind of build up on there, and then slightly dip it in there to do the wing. You can start from here and do the pointiest part and kind of flick it out. You can do it the opposite way, and from out to in, whatever you kind of feel more comfortable. I think I do it both ways, so you can flick it out and then connect it back. So I'm just going to straighten out the bottom and get a tiny bit of concealer and this little flat brush. Okay, I'm going to do the other one off camera. It's better to, don't pull on your eye, but just hold your eye to keep your skin taut. Okay, so when you're using a beauty sponge like this, I like to hold it towards the back. Don't hold it here, like towards the front. It's just similar like the brush situation. And then also you don't want to push like hard. You just want to tap like barely on your skin. You don't want to apply much pressure at all, which holding it towards the back of the sponge will help with that. So at first, depending on how you like to do your foundation, you can do sections at a time. I like to just do my whole face. If I have excess, I just go back in with a clean side of the brush and pick up the excess. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to kind of go back over. Now I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape in light neutral just to kind of conceal my under eyes and brighten up my T-zone. Okay, so what I like to do with my brow pencil, I don't like to, again, hold it towards the middle or hold it like a pencil. I like to hold it like this and flick, light little flick strokes. Look at that. My eyebrow is pretty much already done. So if I want a more bold brow, I just go in with a little bit of powder on the outside. But I literally would just leave it like this if I'm just doing a natural brow. I'm going to be using the Tarte Pro Glow palette today. I'm going to be using the bronzer in here, the contour bronzer powder. And if you do want to get a bold contour, you can use a fluffier brush like this and tap it in first, like that. See how it already gives you, kind of stamp it on there. Then hold it towards the back and blend it out. And hold it towards the end. Tiny bit on my forehead, my forehead, my chin. I gotta be careful with this palette because sometimes I don't look and I'll freaking go into one of the highlights. So now I'm just gonna work on my lower lash line and use the crease color to go from inner corner to outer corner with a little pencil brush. And again, try not to push too hard, just use the tip. And for blush, it's a little tricky because it depends on how pigmented it is, how pigmented you like it to look on your face. I do like to build it up. I start out with patting and then blending it out. Similar to like the outer corner when I was kind of smoking it out, I like to pat in the powder and then I will blend it out. So I'm using this Morphe E34, so I'll like just tap it in one time and then tap it on my cheekbone area, then blend it. This is one of my favorite blushes. This is the Amaretto blush from the Jaclyn & Becca face palette. I love this blush. And since I am swiping, I'm not really like blending, you know, or trying to be like really light-handed. I do want to make sure that the blush gets like distributed evenly and I don't have like a lot of product on one area. I do like to hold it closer to really push down and have more control of my brush. And now for highlight, I'm going to be using my favorite little highlight brush. This is like just a huge blending brush. Like look how huge it is like compared to my eye. I'm going to try out one of the highlights in the Carli Bybel Deluxe Edition palette. I'm going to go in with the white one right here at the corner. Whoa. And go a little bit with this like rosy one. I'm a little scared. Whoa, that's like really white. It literally look, it is what it looks like in the pan. Whoa, can you guys see that? Especially, I think it's a little too white for me against my blush and my contour. This would probably be a good highlight for kind of like a no makeup highlight. And I'm going to be using Lip Sense First Love for my lips. This is the best color I've ever had. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys got some insight in some things that you might have not known before or like heard anyone give tips on. That's kind of what I always like to make sure in my videos, is to just give as many like tips that I've heard people say or that I've kind of discovered on my own, you know, doing makeup on myself and on other people, and to just in hopes of like helping you guys out, because I know how frustrating it can be when something doesn't come out the way you want it to. And yeah, just practice, you will get better. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.